Welcome back. Today we're going to be sealing any of the joints and fixing any mistakes we might have made with some caulking and some drywall compound. Then we're going to be painting the trim. And finally, we're going to add some pine wood floating shelves along this open area here for beautiful wife's shoes. So let's get started. The bottom of the 2x4 is exposed, but we're going to be filling any joints and also painting it. When the doors are closed, they'll actually be flush with the front of the trim. So that's why you can see this exposed wood. I'm about halfway through caulking all the joints, and admittedly, I'm no expert at caulking. However, a damp cloth will fix a lot of your mistakes. So even if it goes on kind of ugly, you can take a damp cloth and smooth out and remove any extra caulking and make it look perfect like a professional did it. We're back here again. This is the horrific cut I did, so we're going to see if we can fix this mistake. We are done doing all the caulking and sealing for now. Some of the wider joints that I use drywall compound on, it's going to have to dry, and once it dries it will concave and we'll have to do a final finishing coat. But I think beautiful wife will not notice my mistake unless she watches this video, which she most certainly will not. While that's drying, what we're going to do is make our floating pine wood shelves. They're going to be thick, chunky ones, 3 inches thick, and we're going to do 4, I think. We just got some regular pine boards from the hardware store, and we're going to measure that up now. I have a piece of leftover pine board from a previous project here, and then I bought a couple more for the shelves. We're going to make 3, I've decided, and I'm going to cut the front face pieces for the shelves right now. I've already mitered one side. I'm going to miter the other. They're going to be 3 inches thick, similar to the ones that I made in the kitchen there. And the most important thing is safety goggles. Now we've ripped the front edge of this shelf. We're going to cut the widths of them. So each shelf is going to have a top and a bottom and a front plate. I have pre-measured. It's 16.5 inches. We're going to put our safety goggles on, as always. Yeah. Here we're making some of our own wood filler. We're just taking the sawdust from our offcut, mixing it with glue. I'm doing it by hand, so getting dirty. And I'm going to fill in all the gaps with that. And you mix it up until it's a nice paste, essentially, and it'll work perfectly and color match your wood. Safety goggles, of course. We're now at the stage where we're going to be painting the trim. Fairly simple process because we're not going to be painting any of the cabinetry, by all means, so it would work. We're just going to be painting any of the trim or exposed wood, and really it's a 20-minute job, so let's get going. The next step we're going to do, we have completed finishing our floating shelves. They're going to be going in here like so. Now I'm going to be installing the brackets for the floating shelves. Pre-drilled some holes on the brackets. I'm going to be putting, I know I can catch a stud in the very back here, and then I will likely be using a heavy-duty easy anchor on the front end of the bracket, and that'll be more than enough to support it. The other side is just going to be screwed directly into the cabinet using some 1.5-inch screws. Onto these brackets, they're going to slide in this way, and the bracket will sit in this groove, and then we'll just pin it in with a brad nail. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that's so tight. I don't think I need to brad nail them in. I'm very happy with how these shelves turned out. It's store time now. One of the final steps is to measure and drill the pilot holes for the handles. We have some nice gold round metal handles that are actually pretty good quality. I think we got them off of Amazon. They match the other wardrobe here. And I have the template, which is super helpful. I bought it from IKEA. A whole bunch of holes, and then like a 90-degree angle here that you can just place it on the edge of the door and make your markings, and then they will be perfectly consistent all the way across. I always double check with measuring tape as well. We have now completed the built-in wardrobe. That was step number 1. Step number 2 is Blue Moon today.
So what we completed was we constructed the cabinets, we put some blocking on the wall, we screwed everything to the wall, we added trim to the ceiling portion to build it right up to the ceiling, and then we added trim to the side here to make it look built in on the side. And finally, we added some nice pine wood floating shelves here. Next week, what we're going to be doing is sourcing the interiors of the wardrobes. There's many different accessories and we want to get it just right. When I ordered these originally, everything was out of stock. So now everything's in stock. We're probably going to do some drawers, we're going to do some hanging bars, maybe a pull-out tray. So stay tuned for next week.